Passage 1. Planning a vacation. Planning a vacation can be both exciting and stressful. Last year, my family and I decided to take a trip to Italy. We had always wanted to visit Rome, Venice, and Florence, so we started planning our itinerary early. We booked our flights and hotels online to get the best deals. First, we made a list of all the places we wanted to visit. In Rome, we wanted to see the Colosseum, the Vatican, and the Pantheon. We also planned to take a walking tour of the city to see the beautiful architecture and historic sites. In Venice, we were excited to ride in a gondola and explore the canals. We also wanted to visit St. Mark's Basilica and the Doge's Palace. In Florence, we planned to visit the Uffizi Gallery and see Michelangelo's famous statue of David. Next, we researched the best ways to travel between the cities. We decided to take the train, as it is convenient and offers beautiful views of the countryside. We also looked up local restaurants and cafes to try some authentic Italian food. Pizza, pasta, and gelato were at the top of our list. Packing for the trip was another important task. We made sure to bring comfortable clothes and shoes for walking, as well as some formal wear for nicer restaurants. We also packed a travel guide, maps, and a phrase book to help us with the language. Finally, the day of our trip arrived. We were all very excited and a little nervous. Our flight to Rome was smooth, and soon we were exploring the ancient city. The Colosseum was even more impressive in person, and the Vatican was breathtaking. We took many photos and created wonderful memories. Our time in Venice and Florence was just as amazing. The gondola ride in Venice was a unique experience, and the art in Florence was incredible. The food was delicious everywhere we went, and the people were friendly and welcoming. Overall, our vacation to Italy was unforgettable. It took a lot of planning and preparation, but it was worth it. We experienced new cultures, saw amazing sights, and created lasting memories as a family. I can't wait for our next adventure.
Passage 2. Starting a new job. Starting a new job can be both exciting and nerve-wracking. Last month, I started working at a marketing company. I had been looking for a job for a while and was thrilled when I got the offer. The company is located in the city center, and it has a great reputation. On my first day, I arrived early to make a good impression. I was introduced to my new colleagues, who were all very friendly and welcoming. My manager showed me around the office and explained the company's policies and procedures. I was given a desk and some equipment, including a computer and a phone. My first task was to familiarize myself with the company's clients and projects. I spent the morning reading through documents and taking notes. In the afternoon, I attended a team meeting where we discussed our goals for the month. It was interesting to hear about the different projects and the strategies we would use to achieve our targets. Throughout the first week, I continued to learn more about the company and my role. I received training on the software and tools we use, and I shadowed my colleagues to see how they work. Everyone was very supportive and answered any questions I had. One of the things I like most about my new job is the collaborative environment. We work closely as a team, and there are always opportunities to share ideas and provide feedback. I also appreciate the company's focus on professional development. There are regular training sessions and workshops to help us improve our skills and advance our careers. Another highlight of the job is the flexible working hours. I can choose to start early and finish early, or start later and finish later, which allows me to balance my work and personal life. There are also social events and team-building activities that help us get to know each other better. Of course, starting a new job comes with its challenges. There is a lot to learn, and it can be overwhelming at times. However, I am confident that with time and effort, I will become more comfortable and proficient in my role. My colleagues and manager are very supportive, and I know I can always ask for help if needed. Overall, I am very happy with my new job. It is a great opportunity to learn and grow, and I am excited about the future. I look forward to contributing to the company's success and building a successful career in marketing.
Passage 3. Preparing for a marathon. Running a marathon is a big challenge that requires a lot of preparation and dedication. A few months ago, I decided to sign up for my first marathon. I had been running for a while, but I knew that a marathon would be a different experience. The first step in my preparation was to create a training plan. I researched online and found a plan that suited my fitness level and schedule. The plan included a mix of short runs, long runs, and rest days. It also included strength training and stretching exercises to prevent injuries. I started my training with shorter runs, gradually increasing the distance each week. I made sure to listen to my body and take rest days when needed. On weekends, I did my long runs, which helped me build endurance and stamina. Nutrition was another important aspect of my preparation. I made sure to eat a balanced diet with plenty of fruits, vegetables, lean protein, and whole grains. I also stayed hydrated by drinking plenty of water throughout the day. Before my long runs, I ate a meal rich in carbohydrates to give me energy. As the marathon date approached, I started to taper my training. This means reducing the distance and intensity of my runs to allow my body to recover and be ready for the race. I also practiced my race day routine, including what I would eat and wear. On the day of the marathon, I felt a mix of excitement and nerves. I arrived at the starting line early to warm up and stretch. The atmosphere was electric, with thousands of runners and spectators cheering us on. The race itself was challenging but exhilarating. The first few miles went by quickly, and I felt strong and confident. However, around mile 18, I started to feel tired, and my legs began to ache. I reminded myself of all the training I had done and pushed through the pain. The support from the spectators was incredible. Their cheers and encouragement helped keep me going. When I crossed the finish line, I felt a huge sense of accomplishment and pride. I had completed my first marathon. Running a marathon taught me a lot about perseverance and mental strength. It was a rewarding experience that I will never forget. I am already thinking about signing up for another one in the future.
Passage 4. Hosting a dinner party. Hosting a dinner party can be a lot of fun, but it also requires careful planning and preparation. Last month, I decided to host a dinner party for some close friends. I wanted everything to be perfect, so I started planning well in advance. First, I created a guest list and sent out invitations. I wanted to make sure everyone could attend, so I checked their availability and set a date that worked for most people. I also asked if anyone had any dietary restrictions or allergies. Next, I planned the menu. I wanted to prepare a variety of dishes to suit everyone's tastes. I decided to start with some appetizers, followed by a main course, and finish with dessert. For the appetizers, I made bruschetta and a cheese platter. The main course was roasted chicken with vegetables, and for dessert, I baked a chocolate cake. Once I had the menu sorted, I went grocery shopping to buy all the ingredients. I also made sure to have enough drinks, including wine, soda, and water. I wanted to create a nice atmosphere, so I bought some candles and flowers for the table. On the day of the dinner party, I started cooking in the afternoon to ensure everything was ready on time. I set the table with my best plates, glasses, and cutlery. I also arranged the flowers and lit the candles to create a warm and inviting atmosphere. When my friends arrived, I welcomed them with drinks and appetizers. We chatted and caught up on each other's lives while enjoying the food. The main course was a hit, and everyone complimented the roasted chicken. For dessert, the chocolate cake was a big success, and my friends asked for the recipe. After dinner, we moved to the living room to relax and continue our conversation. We played some board games and listened to music. It was a wonderful evening filled with laughter and good company. Hosting a dinner party was a great experience. It took some effort and preparation, but it was worth it to see my friends having a good time. I learned the importance of planning ahead and paying attention to details. I look forward to hosting another dinner party in the future. Passage 5. Learning a new language. Learning a new language can be both challenging and rewarding. A few months ago, I decided to start learning Spanish. I had always wanted to visit Spain and Latin America, so I thought it would be useful to know the language. I enrolled in a language course at a local community center. The classes were held twice a week, and the teacher was a native Spanish speaker. I found the classes very engaging and interactive. We practiced speaking, listening, reading, and writing in Spanish. The teacher also introduced us to Spanish culture, which made the learning experience more enjoyable. In addition to the classes, I used language apps on my phone to practice vocabulary and grammar. I also watched Spanish movies and TV shows with subtitles to improve my listening skills. Listening to Spanish music and reading simple books in Spanish helped me get used to.
Passage 6. A visit to a historical site. Last summer, I had the opportunity to visit a famous historical site in my country. The site is known for its ancient ruins and beautiful architecture. I went there with my family, and we were all excited to learn about the history and culture of the place. We started our visit at the main entrance, where we bought our tickets and received a map of the site. The first thing we saw was a large courtyard surrounded by impressive stone buildings. Our guide explained that these buildings were once used as administrative offices and residences for important officials. As we walked through the site, we saw many interesting structures, including temples, palaces, and ancient baths. Each building had detailed carvings and inscriptions that told stories of the past. Our guide shared fascinating facts and anecdotes about the people who lived there and the events that took place. One of the highlights of the visit was climbing to the top of a tall tower. From there, we had a panoramic view of the entire site and the surrounding countryside. It was breathtaking, and we took many photos to capture the moment. We also visited a museum located within the site. The museum displayed a collection of artifacts, such as pottery, jewelry, and tools, which were discovered during excavations. We learned about the daily lives of the people who lived there and their contributions to art, science, and technology. Throughout the day, we walked a lot and enjoyed the fresh air and beautiful scenery. We took breaks to rest and have snacks at designated areas. There were also information boards and interactive displays that provided additional insights into the history of the site. At the end of our visit, we bought some souvenirs from a small gift shop. We chose postcards, magnets, and a book about the history of the site. It was a memorable day, and we left with a greater appreciation for our heritage and the achievements of our ancestors. Passage 7. Joining a sports club. Joining a sports club can be a great way to stay active and meet new people. Last year, I decided to join a local tennis club. I had always enjoyed playing tennis, but I wanted to improve my skills and play more regularly. When I first joined the club, I attended an orientation session where I met the coaches and other members. Everyone was very welcoming, and I quickly felt comfortable. The club offered various programs for different skill levels, from beginners to advanced players. I signed up for a beginner's class, which was held twice a week in the evenings. The coach was experienced and patient, and he taught us the basics of tennis, including how to serve, volley, and hit forehands and backhands. We also learned about the rules and etiquette of the game. In addition to the classes, the club organized regular practice sessions and friendly matches. These events were a lot of fun and gave me the opportunity to play with different people and improve my game. I also participated in a few tournaments, which were exciting and challenging. One of the things I enjoyed most about the club was the social aspect. We often had social events, such as barbecues, picnics, and movie nights, where we could relax and get to know each other better. I made many new friends, and we often played tennis together outside of the club. Joining the tennis club had a positive impact on my health and fitness. I became more active and felt stronger and more energetic. It also helped me develop discipline and perseverance, as I had to practice regularly and work on my weaknesses. Overall, joining the tennis club was a great decision. It provided me with a fun and supportive environment to learn and grow as a player. I look forward to continuing my journey in tennis and reaching new goals.
Passage 8. A Day in the Life of a Teacher. Being a teacher is a rewarding yet demanding profession. I have been teaching at a primary school for the past 5 years, and each day brings new challenges and experiences. My day starts early, as I arrive at school around 7:30 a.m. to prepare for the lessons. I organize my materials, review my lesson plans, and set up the classroom. I teach a variety of subjects, including English, math, science, and social studies, so there is always something new to prepare. At 8 a.m., the students start arriving. I greet them at the door and make sure they are ready for the day. The first lesson usually begins with a warm-up activity, such as a quiz or a discussion, to engage the students and review previous topics. Throughout the day, I try to make the lessons as interactive and engaging as possible. I use a mix of teaching methods, such as group work, hands-on activities, and multimedia presentations to cater to different learning styles. I also encourage the students to ask questions and share their ideas. One of the most important aspects of teaching is building positive relationships with the students. I take the time to get to know them individually and understand their strengths and needs. This helps me provide personalized support and create a positive learning environment. During breaks, I supervise the students in the playground and ensure their safety. I also use this time to catch up on administrative tasks, such as grading assignments and planning future lessons. After school, I often stay for a couple of hours to meet with colleagues, attend staff meetings, and participate in professional development workshops. These sessions are valuable for sharing ideas, discussing challenges, and learning new teaching strategies. Teaching can be demanding, but it is also incredibly rewarding. Seeing the students grow, learn, and achieve their goals is a source of great satisfaction. Knowing that I am making a difference in their lives keeps me motivated and passionate about my work.
Passage 9. Volunteering at a community center. Volunteering at a community center is a wonderful way to give back to the community and make a positive impact. I started volunteering at my local community center last year, and it has been a fulfilling experience. The community center offers a variety of programs and services for people of all ages, including after-school activities for children, fitness classes for adults, and social events for seniors. As a volunteer, I help with organizing and running these programs. One of my main responsibilities is assisting with the after-school program for children. We provide a safe and supportive environment where children can do their homework, play games, and participate in educational activities. I help the children with their assignments, read stories to them, and organize fun games and crafts. I also assist with the fitness classes for adults. I help set up the equipment, register participants, and provide support during the classes. It's rewarding to see people of all ages and fitness levels come together to improve their health and well-being. In addition to these regular activities, the community center hosts special events, such as holiday parties, cultural festivals, and charity fundraisers. I enjoy helping with the planning and preparation for these events, as they bring the community together and create a sense of belonging. Volunteering has allowed me to develop new skills and make meaningful connections with people in my community. I have learned a lot about teamwork, communication, and leadership. It has also given me a sense of purpose and fulfillment, knowing that I am contributing to the well-being of others. Overall, volunteering at the community center has been a rewarding and enriching experience. It has opened my eyes to the needs of my community and the difference that one person can make. I encourage everyone to consider volunteering and making a positive impact in their own communities.
Passage 10. A day at the beach. Spending a day at the beach is one of my favorite ways to relax and enjoy nature. Last weekend, I went to the beach with some friends, and it was a perfect day. We left early in the morning to avoid the midday heat and find a good spot on the sand. When we arrived, the beach was already buzzing with activity. We set up our umbrellas and towels and applied sunscreen to protect our skin from the sun. The first thing we did was go for a swim in the sea. The water was cool and refreshing, and we enjoyed splashing around and riding the waves. After swimming, we played beach volleyball. It was a lot of fun, and we had a friendly competition. For lunch, we had a picnic on the beach. We brought sandwiches, fruits, and cold drinks. Sitting on the sand and enjoying the food with the sound of the waves in the background was very relaxing. In the afternoon, we took a walk along the shore. We collected seashells and took photos of the beautiful scenery. We also built sandcastles and had a lot of fun being creative with our designs. As the sun began to set, we sat on our towels and watched the sunset. The sky was painted with beautiful colors, and it was a peaceful and magical moment. We took many photos to capture the memory. Before leaving, we made sure to clean up our area and take all our trash with us. It's important to keep the beach clean and protect the environment. Overall, it was a wonderful day at the beach. We had fun, relaxed, and enjoyed each other's company. I can't wait for our next beach trip.
Passage 11. A day in the city. Last weekend, I decided to spend the day exploring the city. I woke up early, had breakfast, and took a bus to the city center. My first stop was the local art museum. I had heard great things about a new exhibition, and I was eager to see it. The museum was not too crowded, so I could take my time admiring the paintings and sculptures. The exhibition featured works by both famous and emerging artists. My favorite piece was a large abstract painting that used bright colors and bold shapes. I spent about 2 hours at the museum, learning about the artists and their inspiration. After leaving the museum, I headed to a nearby cafe for lunch. The cafe was small and cozy, with a friendly atmosphere. I ordered a sandwich and a cup of tea and found a seat by the window. As I ate, I watched people passing by and enjoyed the hustle and bustle of the city. In the afternoon, I decided to take a walk in the city park. The park was full of people enjoying the sunny weather. Some were having picnics, while others were playing sports or walking their dogs. I strolled along the paths, taking in the beautiful scenery. I sat on a bench for a while, just relaxing and reading a book. Later, I met up with a friend at a popular shopping area. We visited several stores looking for new clothes and accessories. We also stopped at a bookstore, where I found a novel that I had been wanting to read. We chatted and laughed, enjoying each other's company. In the evening, we decided to have dinner at a restaurant that served Italian cuisine. The food was delicious, and the service was excellent. We shared a pizza and a pasta dish, and for dessert, we had gelato. It was the perfect end to a wonderful day. As the day came to an end, I took a bus back home, feeling happy and satisfied. Spending the day in the city had been a great experience. I had visited interesting places, enjoyed good food, and spent time with a friend. I look forward to my next city adventure.
Passage 12. A weekend camping trip. Last month, I went on a weekend camping trip with my friends. We had been planning the trip for weeks and were excited to spend some time in nature. We chose a campsite in a national park, which was about a 2-hour drive from the city. We left early on Saturday morning to make the most of the weekend. The drive to the campsite was scenic, with beautiful views of the mountains and forests. When we arrived, we set up our tents and organized our campsite. It took us a while to get everything ready, but soon we were all set for the adventure. In the afternoon, we went for a hike on a nearby trail. The trail was well marked and led us through dense forests, across streams, and up to a viewpoint. The hike was challenging but rewarding. The view from the top was breathtaking, with panoramic views of the surrounding landscape. We took some photos and rested for a while before heading back to the campsite. Back at the campsite, we started preparing dinner. We had brought a portable stove and some ingredients to cook a simple meal. We made pasta with vegetables and enjoyed it around the campfire. After dinner, we roasted marshmallows and made s'mores. The campfire kept us warm as we chatted and shared stories late into the night. On Sunday morning, we woke up early to the sound of birds chirping. We had a quick breakfast and then decided to go fishing in a nearby lake. We borrowed some fishing gear from the campsite office and spent a few hours by the lake. It was a peaceful and relaxing experience, even though we didn't catch many fish. In the afternoon, we packed up our tents and cleaned the campsite. We made sure to leave no trace and disposed of our trash properly. Before heading back to the city, we took a final walk around the park, enjoying the last moments of our camping trip. The weekend camping trip was a memorable experience. We enjoyed the fresh air, beautiful scenery, and quality time with friends. It was a perfect break from the busy city life, and I can't wait to go camping again.
Passage 13. A Day at the Science Fair. Last month, our school organized a science fair, and I was excited to participate. The science fair was a big event, with students from different grades presenting their projects. I had been working on my project for weeks and was eager to show it to everyone. The science fair was held in the school gymnasium. The space was filled with tables displaying various experiments and inventions. My project was about renewable energy, and I had built a small solar-powered car. I set up my display with posters and diagrams explaining how solar energy works and how my car was built. As the fair started, students, teachers, and parents walked around, looking at the different projects. I enjoyed explaining my project to visitors and answering their questions. Many people were interested in renewable energy and asked me about the potential of solar power. In addition to the student projects, there were also demonstrations by local scientists and engineers. One of the highlights was a chemistry demonstration where a scientist showed us some exciting chemical reactions. There was also a robotics demonstration where we saw robots perform tasks like picking up objects and navigating obstacles. During the science fair, there was a judging panel that evaluated the projects. The judges were impressed with my project and asked me detailed questions about my research and the design of the car. I felt proud of my work and happy to share my knowledge with others. At the end of the fair, there was an award ceremony. I was thrilled when my name was called, and I received a prize for the best project in my grade. It was a great honor, and I felt all my hard work had paid off. The science fair was a fantastic experience. It was an opportunity to learn from others, share my passion for science, and gain confidence in presenting my work. I look forward to participating in more science fairs in the future.
Passage 14. A visit to the local market. Every Saturday, I visit the local market to buy fresh produce and other goods. The market is a vibrant place, bustling with activity and filled with colorful stalls. It's one of my favorite places to shop because I can find fresh local products and enjoy the lively atmosphere. I usually go to the market early in the morning to avoid the crowds. My first stop is the fruit and vegetable section. The farmers display a variety of fresh produce, including apples, oranges, tomatoes, and carrots. I like to buy seasonal fruits and vegetables because they are fresh and taste better. Next, I visit the bakery stall. The smell of freshly baked bread and pastries is irresistible. I often buy a loaf of whole grain bread and some croissants for breakfast. The baker also sells homemade cakes and cookies, which are perfect for a treat. After the bakery, I head to the dairy stall. The vendor offers a range of products, including milk, cheese, and yogurt. I like to buy cheese from the local dairy farm because it is delicious and made with high-quality ingredients. I also get some fresh yogurt to enjoy with my breakfast. One of my favorite stalls at the market is the flower stall. The vendor sells beautiful bouquets of fresh flowers, which brighten up my home. I usually buy a bunch of flowers to place in a vase on my kitchen table. As I continue shopping, I often stop at the food stalls to try some local delicacies. There are stalls selling homemade jams, honey, and pickles. I love tasting the samples and buying my favorite products to take home. The market is also a great place to meet people and catch up with friends. I often run into neighbors and have a chat while shopping. It's a social experience that I look forward to every week. By the time I finish shopping, my bags are full of fresh, delicious products. I feel good knowing that I am supporting local farmers and businesses. Visiting the market is a weekly tradition that I cherish, and it always leaves me with a sense of satisfaction.
Passage 16. A weekend getaway. Last weekend, I decided to take a short trip to the countryside. I needed a break from the busy city life, so I booked a cozy cabin near a lake and packed my bags. The drive was peaceful, with scenic views of rolling hills and quaint villages. When I arrived, I was greeted by the crisp, fresh air and the sound of birds singing. The cabin was charming and well-equipped with everything I needed for a relaxing stay. I spent the first afternoon exploring the nearby woods and taking in the beautiful autumn colors. The next day, I woke up early and made myself a hearty breakfast. Afterward, I went for a hike along a popular trail that led to a stunning viewpoint. The trail was well marked and took me through forests, meadows, and along the edge of the lake. At the top, I enjoyed a panoramic view of the surrounding countryside. It was the perfect spot to sit and relax for a while, soaking in the tranquility. In the afternoon, I returned to the cabin and decided to go fishing in the lake. I had brought a fishing rod and some bait, and I was excited to see if I could catch anything. After a few hours of patience, I managed to catch a couple of fish, which I grilled for dinner. It was a simple but delicious meal that I enjoyed by the lakeside as the sun set. On the final day of my getaway, I took a leisurely stroll around the lake and visited a nearby farm. The farm had a small shop where I bought some local produce, including fresh eggs, cheese, and homemade jam. The farmers were friendly and happy to share stories about their life in the countryside. Before heading back to the city, I sat by the lake one last time, reflecting on the peaceful weekend I had spent. The getaway was a perfect opportunity to recharge and appreciate the simple pleasures of nature. I returned home feeling refreshed and ready to tackle the challenges of city life once again.
Passage 17. Volunteering at an animal shelter. Last month, I started volunteering at a local animal shelter.
I have always loved animals, and I wanted to do something meaningful to help those in need. The shelter cares for abandoned and homeless animals, providing them with food, medical care, and a safe place to stay until they find new homes. On my first day, I was given a tour of the facility and introduced to the staff and other volunteers. Everyone was friendly and passionate about their work. My main responsibilities included feeding the animals, cleaning their living spaces, and helping with socialization and exercise. One of my favorite tasks was walking the dogs. The shelter had many dogs of different breeds and sizes, and they all needed regular exercise and attention. I enjoyed taking them for walks in the nearby park, playing fetch, and teaching them basic commands. It was rewarding to see their tails wagging with happiness and to know that I was making a positive impact on their lives. I also spent time with the cats in the shelter. Some of them were shy and needed extra care to build their confidence. I would sit quietly with them, offering treats and gentle pats until they felt comfortable enough to approach me. Over time, I developed a special bond with a few of the cats, and it was heartwarming to see their progress. The shelter also organized adoption events to help find forever homes for the animals. I assisted with setting up the events and interacting with potential adopters, answering their questions, and sharing information about the animals. It was always a joyous occasion when an animal found a loving home. Volunteering at the animal shelter has been a fulfilling experience. It has taught me the importance of compassion, patience, and dedication. Knowing that I am making a difference in the lives of these animals brings me great joy and satisfaction. I plan to continue volunteering and encourage others to get involved as well. Passage 18. Taking a cooking class. Last month, I decided to take a cooking class to improve my culinary skills. I enjoy cooking, but I wanted to learn new techniques and recipes from a professional chef. The class was held at a local culinary school and lasted for 6 weeks. On the first day, I was a bit nervous, but the instructor and my classmates were very welcoming. The instructor began by teaching us basic knife skills and how to properly chop and slice different ingredients. We practiced with vegetables like onions, carrots, and bell peppers. It was challenging at first, but with practice, I became more confident and precise. Each week, we focused on a different type of cuisine. We learned how to make Italian pasta dishes, French pastries, and Asian stir-fries. The instructor demonstrated each recipe step by step, and then we had the opportunity to cook the dishes ourselves. It was a hands-on experience, and I enjoyed the process of creating delicious meals from scratch. One of my favorite classes was when we learned how to bake bread. The instructor taught us how to knead the dough, let it rise, and bake it to perfection. The smell of fresh bread filling the kitchen was amazing. I was so proud of the loaf I made, and it tasted delicious with butter and jam. In addition to learning new recipes, I also gained valuable tips on cooking techniques, food presentation, and kitchen organization. The instructor emphasized the importance of using fresh, high-quality ingredients and showed us how to plate our dishes beautifully. At the end of each class, we got to taste each other's creations and share feedback. It was a great way to learn from our mistakes and improve our skills. I also enjoyed the camaraderie with my classmates as we bonded over our love for cooking and food. Taking the cooking class was a fantastic experience. I learned a lot, gained new confidence in the kitchen, and discovered a passion for trying new recipes. I now enjoy cooking even more and look forward to experimenting with different cuisines in my own kitchen.
Passage 19. A day at the Science Museum. Last weekend, I visited the Science Museum with my family. The museum is known for its interactive exhibits and educational displays, and we were excited to spend the day exploring and learning. As soon as we entered, we were greeted by a massive dinosaur skeleton in the main hall. It was an impressive sight, and we took a moment to read about the different types of dinosaurs and their characteristics. My younger brother was especially fascinated and wanted to learn everything about them. We started our visit with the space exhibit. There were models of spacecraft, interactive displays about the solar system, and a planetarium show. We learned about the planets, stars, and galaxies, and even got to experience what it feels like to be an astronaut through a virtual reality simulation. Next, we moved on to the exhibit about human biology. There were displays about the different systems in the body, such as the circulatory, respiratory, and digestive systems. We participated in hands-on activities that showed how our muscles work and how our heart pumps blood. It was both educational and fun. One of the highlights of the visit was the science lab, where we could conduct our own experiments. We experimented with different chemicals to create reactions, built simple machines, and learned about electricity and magnetism. The lab was supervised by museum staff who were friendly and eager to answer our questions. In the afternoon, we took a break at the museum cafe, where we enjoyed some snacks and drinks. After recharging, we continued our exploration with the technology exhibit. There were displays about the history of inventions, from the wheel to modern-day robots. We saw how technology has evolved over the years and how it impacts our daily lives. Before leaving, we visited the gift shop where we bought some souvenirs and educational toys. My brother chose a model dinosaur to take home, while I picked up a science kit to continue experimenting at home. The visit to the Science Museum was a fantastic experience. It was a day full of learning, discovery, and fun. We left the museum with a greater appreciation for science and a desire to learn more about the world around us. I look forward to our next visit to the museum.
Passage: A visit to the farmer's market. Every Saturday morning, I visit the local farmer's market in my town. It's one of my favorite weekly activities because I love the fresh produce, the lively atmosphere, and the chance to support local farmers. The market is located in a large open square, and it's always bustling with people from all over the town. I usually arrive at the market around 9 a.m., just as the vendors are setting up their stalls. The first thing that catches my attention is the colorful display of fruits and vegetables. The farmers take great pride in arranging their produce beautifully. I can see bright red tomatoes, crisp green lettuce, juicy oranges, and shiny apples, all neatly arranged in baskets. I start my shopping by visiting my favorite fruit vendor. He always has the sweetest strawberries and the juiciest peaches. I pick a few and add them to my basket. Next, I head to the vegetable stall. I choose some fresh carrots, broccoli, and bell peppers. The vendor gives me a friendly smile and thanks me for supporting local farmers. As I continue to walk through the market, I notice a stall selling homemade bread and pastries. The smell is irresistible, and I decide to buy a loaf of whole grain bread and a couple of croissants. The baker tells me that all her products are made with organic ingredients and no preservatives. I appreciate knowing that I'm getting high-quality, healthy food. One of the things I enjoy most about the farmer's market is the variety of products available. In addition to fruits and vegetables, there are stalls selling honey, jams, cheeses, and even handmade crafts. I often buy a jar of honey from a local beekeeper. It's delicious and perfect for adding to my tea or spreading on toast. The market also has a few food stalls where you can grab a quick bite to eat. Today, I decide to treat myself to a freshly made smoothie. The vendor blends together bananas, strawberries, and a splash of orange juice. It's refreshing and a great way to cool down on a warm day. While I shop, I often run into friends and neighbors. The market is a social hub where people come not only to buy groceries but also to catch up with each other. We chat about our week exchange recipes, and share recommendations for the best stalls. Before I leave, I always make a point to visit the flower stall. The vendor has a beautiful selection of seasonal flowers, and I love picking out a bouquet to brighten up my home. Today I choose a bunch of sunflowers. They're cheerful and add a touch of sunshine to my kitchen. Visiting the farmer's market is more than just a shopping trip for me. It's a delightful experience that I look forward to every week. Supporting local farmers, enjoying fresh produce, and connecting with my community make it a special and rewarding activity.